Hello. Still sorting out the bloody stream settings. It's all kind of broken. I had everything set up and then it all broke on me right at the last second when I went live. Anyway, we're here. How you doing, everyone? Let me know in the chat how you doing. I'm doing pretty good. Had a very busy day of work and I got home and I'm like, screw it. I'm going to finally put together the Void Dragon. This is going to take probably a couple of streams. I'm only going to do like 1 hour stream at a time because, you know, I just want to chill out and build some models. So I'm going to do this similar to how I do the normal unbox and build videos. But at the same time, we can chat. I'm going to be a bit slower, clean pieces up, do a whole bunch more stuff. Because this model is just absolutely crazy. I don't know how it goes together. It's just nuts. So you can see on the back, so many cool images. I love how there's 3 different heads. I'm going to go with the stock standard head. I think that's fine. But those other heads can be used for some very, very cool, interesting things. So I'm excited for that. Right. Hopefully the stream is catching up. There is a little bit of a delay for some reason, and I don't know why. I think it's almost like a 30-second delay, and I don't understand. But anyway, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, let's crack it open. I've been holding on to this since it came out. Well, no, not since it came out. I went and bought it from Warhammer Chatswood, and oh, come on. And they told me there that it's the last one of the last ones that you can get in the country at the moment because of COVID and all that. It's all a bit of a mess everywhere. So yeah. Oh, it's only 1 sprue. Interesting. I expected there to be more sprue. Well, there you go. So instructions pretty straightforward. There's nothing really overly difficult. Well, not overly difficult, but it's just there's not a huge amount of steps simply because, you know, you have a body, all the extra bits going around it, wings and stuff like that. So let's crack on. Let us crack on. Okay, firstly, we'll get the mouse out of the way. And we shall begin. Oh, I'm pretty excited actually. I'm still building the Silent King. That's sort of just a project that I'm doing every now and again. So, first up. So we are going to build this head. That head right there. I figure it's the stock standard one, and that's fine. I think it's the best selection of heads. Although that one there looks pretty cool as well. If I get the box back up, if I can reach it. I threw it away, now I can't reach it. So yeah, you can see there you have 3 different heads. So that's the stock standard one. But then that one's pretty cool. That one, I'm not sure about. Looks like he's got a question mark on his face. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I think it's out of those 2. But I will go the stock standard one. Or maybe I'll change my mind further on the line. I don't know. So there's lots of little fiddly pieces in this sprue. But I think it's pretty straightforward to put together. So let's crack on with that. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to be real fiddly. Real fiddly. So the first bit's 1 and 2. Let's pull that one out. She'll get rid of this box as well. So 1 and 2, we've got to find them now. So it goes this way. Oh my god. I don't even know what they look like because there's so many spindly bits. So that's 2 there. So let's cut that out. So I imagine this is going to be pretty fiddly. And a lot of care needs to be taken because they are so fragile. And then part number 1. What does that even look? It's the one there. So it has a hand there. I love the sort of digitized aspect of the body. Little bits and pieces. I think that's super cool. So let's... Come on, out you go. There we go. So let's give this a little bit of a clean. Oh, this is so delicate. This is super delicate. What I might do, bring this a little bit closer and down a little bit and get that out of the way. Just trying to get all the shadow and bits and pieces out of the way. So, oh my god, it's so fiddly. So, I know there's not many people watching live at the moment, but that's fine. I mean, I'm going to do more streams. What happened with this stream is I scheduled it, set it all up, had a whole bunch of keywords in it. Everything was in there. Nice title and everything. Nice little thumbnail. And then I went live and it just started a new live stream completely. So, a little frustrating, but it's all part of it. I'm new to streaming, so still trying to figure that out. So that doesn't look too bad. A little bit. I'm going to do the best I can at the moment. But really, do you want to see someone cleaning model parts for an hour? Well, I'm only going to stream for an hour tonight. So it doesn't look too bad, actually. So yeah, I do have major concerns over it being very, very fiddly. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay. That will somewhat do. I can come back and slightly clean it up. Now, I'm going to figure out how to put this together. This is going to be one where the parts have to go together exactly. There's no leeway around that, simply because of how fiddly it is. So, it seems to be... Oh my god. It goes in like that, possibly. And sort of goes in like that. Oh yeah, it slides in right there. That's not too bad. So a little bit of glue. I've got some new glue as well, which is very nice. And it's quite pungent too. So I tried to keep the windows closed when I'm recording, but at some stage, oh my god, that's really pungent. I'm going to have to open them up. Come on, in you get. I just did it properly. There it is. Okay. Let's hold that together. It is quite fiddly, let's be honest. But it's okay. There we go. Alright, yeah, I'm opening a window. That is super strong. Usually the ones I use aren't that strong. Oh, there we go. So I had the window closed before because there's so many little insects around. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so we've got that bit down. Oh, this is going to be really fiddly. I can tell already. So now we need 3. So 3 is that bit right there. A little cheeky little bit. Right, where are we? Yeah, give that a little bit of a clean up. You know what? I want this even closer. I feel like I'm not getting much in the way, so I just want to make sure that it's all level. Because I know some people watching, and me mostly, because I've got a grid. If those lines aren't straight, oh my god, that's really going to annoy me. Yeah, I've got to keep those lines straight. Hey Yogi. I haven't got chat set up properly, so I can't see it all the time. But yeah, this thing does not look fiddly at all. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go with... That's as good as we're getting with the lines. Everyone's just going to have to deal with it. I love it. I love the designs here. I love it. So, yeah, I'm just going to clean up. So like I said, this is going to be slightly different to the normal build guides, because I am actually going to try and clean up as best I can. And try not to make too much of a mess of it. And I don't have the webcam on for my face tonight. I just really could not be bothered. I think with the build guides, I'd rather not have my face in it and just have the models itself. No one needs to see my face. Oh, that's a mess. So I'm using all kinds of tools in my arsenal. Scrapers. These things. My words have left me tonight. I had a really busy day. And I didn't get my lunch until like 3 o'clock. I was just so super busy. But it's all good. Alright. So I got this. So now the arm has to go on to this long bit. Actually, this bit will be pretty straightforward. Seems to be, you've just got to make sure that it weaves in and out correctly. So that will go there. And it looked like, can't really tell based on the instructions. Actually bring it in shot. Come on. It looks like, according to the picture, it looks like it sticks on there, but definitely doesn't. So that's sort of it around there. So I think a little bit of glue. And I definitely have to fix that arm up a bit, I think. There we go. That actually, oh dear. No. No. There we go. Getting there. You know what? I might actually get this done in an hour. I seriously thought this would take a lot longer than this, but I think we might be alright. So next up we need 4 and 5. Let's actually bring that back in so we know what we're doing. I'm thinking of actually getting a new cutting mat. This is a new cutting mat. I haven't had it for that long, but I think for streaming I need something a bit more contrasty to the grey sprue. What do you reckon? Can't remember what I'm looking for. 4 and 5. I'll orientate it the right way so I know what I'm doing. So that's 5 there. And 4. 4. 4. There it is. Whoa, that's a real fiddly bit. Definitely gonna have to be careful to cut a lot of these out. I love the detail there, so I can get that into view. Just that I'm saying that digitized type thing going on. This digital motif that they've brought in to the updated range. I think it's really nice. Oops, cut that a bit too much. It's okay though. It's okay. Generally looks, the pieces aren't too bad, to be honest. Of course, there's going to be a lot of contact points on the sprue simply because of the nature of this model, but it's alright. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, the contact points are, there's a lot of them, and there will be a lot more later, but it's actually really nice. So, instructions. 5 and 4, so 5 goes up this way to create the neck. Just, if I can actually get it right. Still feel like that should have been stuck on somewhere, but it doesn't. That's really strange. Don't know, real weird. I'm just trying to dry fit it in. Okay, so there's a little slot just there that it should go in. Okay, there it is. Alright, so that goes there. And then 4 goes just in there. So we'll put 5 in first. Properly? No, not at all. There it is. Alright, seems to lock into place a little bit. It's not too bad. Alright, let that rest. Let's put my chair down. Oh, there we go. Now I'm in a much better spot. I can actually reach it. So I'm trying to be nice and ergonomic and not too close to the table so you don't get too much shadow, but you know, it is what it is. Right. So the arm. So that's kind of a crystallized heart in there. I don't know if you can focus on there. Yeah, it's like a little crystallized heart. I'm just trying to dry fit it in just to see exactly where it goes. Well, it sounds like it's getting windy outside as well. I love it. In Australia, in Sydney, we've been getting... it's going to be a wet summer, so we've been already getting a lot of storms, a lot of things like that. Actually, okay, I understand this part here now. So, if you can see it in there, bring it a bit closer. There is that little bit which sort of just hangs there. You can sort of see it when I can move it around. But that crystal heart sits on that bit. So, put a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue around there, and that should get it all in together quite nicely. It is quite a fiddly bit, actually. I think this needs to go first in before the chest part, because it's going to involve a little pushing around. Oh my goodness. Okay. That's alright. Alright, I actually have to hold this down and do some surgery. Do some surgery on this bad boy. It literally does feel like I'm doing surgery. I was trying to think if I should bring the camera closer, but I get too much shadow, so... Oh my god. Oh my goodness. There we go. Alright. You probably can't see what I'm doing because the shadow's in the way, but I'm just holding in that crystal heart to its sort of base and just getting it in there, and just enough so it'll stay in there. Now I need to push the rest of the arm in because it's all come out. There we go. Oops. No. No, you don't. Yeah, heart surgery. It's quite fiddly, but definitely I think the arm has to go in before the chest piece. That's alright. I think sometimes the instructions are a little unclear, but you know, I think if you take a few seconds just to think about what you're doing, it'll make sense. So I'm just putting some pressure and just pushing it in just to get it all in there. Alright. There we go. That'll do. It's not too bad, actually. Excellent. So now we need to figure out what head we're doing. And we've already decided we're going to go with this head here. This bad boy. So there's actually two pieces. So you have the big front piece and then the sigil, I guess you could call it. And that we're going. So we need part 11 and 12 for this one. So part 11 should be pretty straightforward to find. Although, I mean, come on, that head is actually really cool. I really like that. That would be cool, actually. I'm not going to use it, but one thing I would want to do is a more magical Slaneshi type thing. And that head would somewhat fit in. Could almost fit into some Lumineth Realmlords as well. Yeah. What board game did you back on Kickstarter? Because I'm looking at what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Bardsong at the moment from Steve Forge Games. So that's just gone into Kickstarter, and that looks kind of cool. So I used to spend a lot of money on Kickstarter games, and I don't have the webcam set up, but just behind me, there is just a bookcase full of. What am I doing? I just started cutting this head out. That's not the one I wanted. Wow. I just got a bit carried away, got a bit excited. But yeah, I do want to hold on to that head. I think that's really cool. I definitely think some kind of... did I say Slanesh before? No, I meant Tzeentch. What am I thinking? Yeah, that would be cool on like a Tzeentch. Burn Cycle. I haven't heard of Burn Cycle. I'll have a look at it later. And you were talking about, what was it? Was it Darktide? I think I wrote that down. Yeah, Darktide the other night. Yeah, I do remember that one now. I think they've only just released a trailer for it. I haven't really seen much else on it at the moment. So I'm waiting to see if there's any more info, and I'll probably play it on the channel. Alright, so Chip Theory Games did it. Nice. So give this one a little bit of a clean. I mean, this head's not too bad. I can always come back and clean it later. But I know there's definitely sprue lines on there that, or mold lines that need to be sorted out. Alright. So, let's think about this. So, this special bit has a, get that in focus, has a thing sticking out their back. So I can stick that in, that won't be any problem. So I'm not sure if I should put that in first. Yeah, I'll put it in first. I think that'll be fine. So there's not actually any other little mold lines, but I don't think it really matters too much. I'm just being careful, I don't want to wreck this bit because it's quite fiddly. But I'll put that in now. A little bit of glue coming out. Alright. Oh, there goes the motorbike. Oh dear. They seem to do this a lot this time of night. So I'm going to have to close the window. Oh no, they left. And sometimes they just sit out. We're in this strange building that has a car park in the middle of the building. And this person just seems to rev their car. Just all the time for some reason. And I don't understand why. Okay, head. Hey Maxim, how's it going? So head goes right on there. So that should just slot right in. Let me just double check on that side. Just want to make sure that it goes in correctly. So probably a bit too much glue than necessary, but that'll be fine. Whoops. Come on, stick on there, mate. Huh, interesting. Needs to go a bit higher, does it? Oh, it's just a different angle. I needed to get it in at. Interesting. Ah, there it is. Okay. It's a weird angle. One side sticks out a little bit more than the other. There we go. Get that into shot. Oh, that's such a cool head. Such a cool design. I'm a massive fan of the new Necron designs. Really, I think they've just stepped it up, made them more than just killer robots. They actually are just... They have so much more character. Because we've got to remember, they're millions of years old. So, get that back into focus. Yeah, I think that's super cool. And I'm just checking on the camera as well to make sure that everything is straight. Life down in Oz is good. Busy. Pretty chill. Yeah, work's been super crazy. But, you know, it's always time for hobby. Okay. Oh, we've done one page. Awesome. So yeah, this head here, I still love that head. I mainly buy models that look cool. Or box sets. And let's be honest, I buy enough models to make several different armies. Definitely got enough for a couple of thousand points of Space Marines. Would have probably a few thousand points for Necrons now, just simply from buying boxes of stuff. What else? I haven't got everything back out on the shelf yet. But at the moment, because I've just started collecting again this year, it's mostly Space Marines and Necrons, because that's just sort of really what's come out. But also things like Warhammer Underworlds. Bought a lot of that. A lot of Warcry as well. I really do love Warcry. I think that's pretty cool. I just don't get to play much, but I'm more about the models. And one day, we'll actually get some painting tutorials on the channel. One day. We're getting there. We're still not quite set up in the office to do it. Because you can't see on camera this. I only have like... Oh my god, how big is that? 16 inches of space this way, and then probably about the same that way, probably a bit more, simply because we're just not set up at the moment, because we had to get rid of the other table so we could fit it in here. But one day we will get painting going. Right, so now we need 9 and 10. Interesting. So 10 on here, that is not 10. They look nothing alike. Interesting. Okay, let me have a look through. Yeah, that's some weird numbering. I think they might have made a mistake on the numbering. I'll see what I can do. So that's 8. That part that's saying it's 10 is actually 8. Very weird. But that's right. We'll cut that one out. So 9. Yeah, 9's correct, but then 8. So they've got the numbering wrong there. It happens every now and again. I mean, it shouldn't happen. There should be some like quality control. So that's that bit there. Somewhat. Is it? Did I cut the right one out then? That was 9. No, they've numbered these wrong. Move that out of the way for now. Yeah, I think these are numbered incorrectly. Interesting. That's fine. We will just cut out the legs and figure it out. Yeah, I do like the Tesseract paint. I think Tesseract is really nice. I haven't had too much of a chance to use it, but you just add it. Do some white. One thing that I've seen done, and I haven't had a chance to try it yet. It's like I said, I'm just not set up at the moment. Some white. Very, very light dry brushing around an area that you want to glow. So for example, let's go... I don't have any models at hand or any pieces that will work. There might be some bits on here. Let's say... I want to find something specific. So on here, this section here, there's that ball. Let's see if I can get it without shadow. There's that ball there. Paint it white. Do a very, very light dry brush around it of a white, probably even a lighter white. And then, just so you really catch the edges a little bit more, then slowly build up Tesseract glow on it. Almost like you're washing, or not even washing, you're glazing over the top of it. And it will catch all those white parts. And gives you like this really nice glow. Of course, at the end of the day, you can just use an airbrush to do some nice glow, but you know, we don't all have that. Don't have all access to airbrush. I'd love to get an airbrush, but you know, I can't keep spending money on things. Okay, I think I've got all the legs. Now, so that part here, this part was definitely not 9. Definitely not. And that was not 10. So I think that was actually 7 and 8. That was actually labeled. So a little bit fiddly there. Alright, so those two definitely go together. You get his nice butt in there. Yeah, so that will go in there nicely once we've cleaned it up. So we'll glue that one. We'll fix that one up now. Kind of making a mess of it. And the actual mold lines on these, on this model, isn't too bad at all. I actually really like it. Some models and all sprue layouts you just get, it's just, let's put it straight through the middle of a Space Marine body. Because, yeah, that makes sense. But this one seems to be, I think when you have more organic shapes and more pieces, you can definitely get away with it. Space Marines is a little bit more difficult because you have a lot of flat panels. But I mean, let's be honest, it does take a lot of work to actually build a sprue. There's a lot of technical things that you got to be aware of, like the tolerances of the sprue itself, the tolerances of the plastic that you're using, the machine that you're putting it in, and things like that. You got to think of like gravity and fluid dynamics. So there's a lot that actually goes into designing a sprue. And some sprues, I'm a massive nerd, so some sprues I see, I'm like, oh, I like that. That's real nice. Because I do remember the sprues from like the 90s and even into the 2000s, just everything's like square and so much space. Like with these sprue, even though there's heaps of space, everything is still somewhat packed on. So that's really nice. Very nice to see. I like it. And I think the guys that do the sprue designs and the layouts of the sprues and the cutting of the models need a little bit more praise. Because seriously, the modeling and the sprue design and how they cut the models has just gone into leaps and bounds. It's just like really jumped ahead. There's certain things that you couldn't do before, like the Light of Eltharion. If you haven't got that model, get it. It's still my model of the year from Games Workshop, and probably from any production house this year. Just technically, from the design through to how they actually have to cut the model to get it on a sprue is just... I still don't know how they do it. I really don't. They got some like black magic going on there. Okay, so this bit's going to go in there, and it'll be fiddly to get in there, but I'll stick some glue and it should be fine. Probably a little bit too much glue, but that's right. Come on. Yeah, this one's a little fiddly. It's a little fiddly fella. And I've got my fingerprints all over it now. Sorry, we can go clean that up later. Yeah, I've got glue everywhere. There's a bit too much glue that time. So definitely when you put this together, these numbers don't actually batch up properly, unless I'm an idiot. And let's be honest, could be an idiot. Yeah, you can go in, reverse the whole mold. It's definitely, the way I think they do it completely 3D. My model design now is all completely 3D. They can cut it 3D, so you can get those really, really cool, smooth mold lines, the smooth joints that you don't even see the mold lines or the connection points. And then from there, I think it does go to a different team to do the whole sprue design, because it's a completely different technical challenge and skill set. Oh, the 50/50 models. Horrible. Take them away. But they're classic. I was actually thinking one day I want to get my hands on the... Oh, if I can, it probably will never happen. A box of RTB01, which is the original Rogue Trader box set for Space Marine. So the first Space Marine box set from the 80s. I think it's like almost 86. 85 or 86. Could have that year wrong. I still think, even though those models are dated, I love those models, and I think they did it justice. Each bit was sort of cut out, and then, you still get a lot of dynamic poses in there. And then they sort of lost that in the 90s and early 2000s, but now they're definitely bringing it back. It was very nice. Okay, that leg's done. So I won't glue it on yet, but I will glue this one together. Let's just double check that it's correct. It definitely goes together. Definitely the right leg. And this one isn't too bad. A little bit of a sprue there. Should get these instructions out of the way. I think going back to like Yogi Bear's comment of that's why GW stuff is expensive. It is, and I think there's a lot of focus on how much it takes to produce one sprue once everything's taken out of consideration. So I think for a sprue like this, I think the cost is essentially 30 cents to produce this in materials and time. But what you're paying for is the design itself and all that development work that goes up to it. It's the same reason why medicines, not exactly, but why medicines are expensive. Because you've got all that years of development and testing and studies to get to that point. And I'm lucky in Australia that we get a lot of that subsidized by the government. But, you know, we can get treatments that cost $30, $40. Awesome. But in reality, it actually costs more into the thousands and thousands. Simply because the companies that make those things have to catch up money-wise at some point. So that's the same with Games Workshop. At some point, the money and time invested into making a model, for example, this model, it will come out even. It may not be straight away. And I reckon there definitely would be models that do not come out even. Because the Games Workshop pricing structure is somewhat strange. It's always weird. You seem to pay more for the elite kind of models. So, for example, a single unit of Necrons is almost the same price as a single elite character. That doesn't make sense from a technical perspective or from a sheer perspective of material and time it takes to produce a physical product. So the pricing is a little weird, but it does somewhat make sense. But again, they're recouping costs because more people are going to buy the box of Necrons opposed to a unique character. So in some ways, they're going to recoup their costs, and that's fine. Yeah, and Yogi's saying a sprue mold might cost them 30k. They are not cheap. Like, seriously expensive. And the cost to produce them these days is coming down, but still, it is not cheap. And if there's like a single mistake on here, so for example, if one of these sprue joints, like say that one there, doesn't connect properly, it's, you know, that whole piece has failed. The whole sprue has to be thrown out. The whole metal mold has to be thrown out. So, you know, they do a lot of work. And I think there needs to be more understanding of, okay, this is why these models cost so much. And yes, there is an added expense on top because this is, we have to say, this is a luxury hobby. This is not a critical thing. It's not an essential service. You know, we do this for fun. We do it as a hobby. We do it because we have play money to do. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Yeah. But I still think it's really important for people to realize that, and when it comes to money as well, we put value on things. Like I know people that would not pay as much as I did for this particular model. Because I think they would be like, that's absolutely outrageous. Why would you do that? But then they will go spend $300 on a dress. You know? It's what you put the value on. How do we get onto this topic? Okay. Let's go back to doing this bad boy. Oh my god. How does this go? How does this go together? How? And this is what I mean by the technical aspect of it. Yeah, Warhammer is a little bit essential. I can quit anytime. Again, I can quit anytime I want. It's fine. I don't have a problem. They call it plastic crack for a reason. How? I don't quite understand how this goes on. Where does it join? Obviously, the butt has to beat the back. So yeah, Max, I'm saying initial cost of these massive printers, design team, mold sculpting, operators, and that's just to get the sprue. Yeah. Yeah. And then you've got yeah, so 9 to 10, it's because I think they've got the numbers mixed up. Oh, you can't even see what I'm pointing at. The numbers mixed up. It's confusing. I think these parts, I can't remember now. I'd have to go back and look at the recording. But these parts, oh, you know what? I forgot to press record. Oh, damn. That's alright. It'll be on YouTube anyway. So I think this part down here should have been 9 and 10, and that should have been 7 and 8. But I have to go back and check just to make sure. But my concern is I've got no idea how to get this leg in because I've got the wrong piece. That's why. Oh my god. But still, how does it go in? Where does it go? How do you work? So confusing. So that definitely is the right side. Just trying to think of where it actually connects. Wow. Kind of lost a bit. I still don't quite understand exactly how it clicks in. I don't think it's ground enough. Aha, okay. There's a little notch right in there. You can't see it, and you've got to do it by feel. So it's right there. Oh, okay. I got it now. Alright, okay. I'm going to put a little bit of glue in there now. Very fiddly. But that's what I love. I mean, I don't love the fiddliness nature of it, but that's why I love these models, simply because it's not that they're difficult to put together. I'll be honest, I do want a little bit of complexity, because part of the joy that I get from these models is putting the models together and cutting off the sprues, cleaning them up, and sticking them together. There we go. Okay, it just takes a little bit of finesse. And then I'm just going to let that sit for a second and dry and have some water. Yeah, I love putting models together. That's why I've always loved like little army kits, little like fighter pilots and tanks and things when I was a kid. Simply because I just love doing that. It is definitely my favorite part of the hobby, and that's what I do love about the hobby. There's so many different aspects to it. The legs, I can see how the trickiest part. And again, it goes back to technically, they've made something amazing, and the fact I'm not going to be able to get in there and paint into that detail properly, simply because of how it's designed and everything. But that's fine. I'm okay. It would be nicer if you could do this in more sub-assemblies and then spray it and paint them up separately, but it's fine. It's fine. Ooh, sounds like a tree is leaning over outside. Do have a really nice view, actually. Oops, I need to let that dry a little bit more. Just outside the window, just, where's my finger? In that direction there, I've got a big window, and you can see like all the trees. It's very, very nice, but I have it closed at the moment, and it's dark. I do not have the Canoptek Spider. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of the new design. I don't know, it just feels a bit, well, we've got this half of a model, and yeah, we've already kind of got this designed up, so we'll just stick it together. So I'm not going to pick it up. I'm just trying to think of a reason why I would. I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. I think in one of the videos when I was reviewing the new Necron models, I talked about that a bit. It doesn't work for me. It just feels like an easy model. They're like, okay, we need another model in the range. Oh, we've kind of got the these models, let's just take the legs off and we'll stick the spider bits on. Okay, done. Yeah, it just felt a bit too easy. I think you could do some really cool stuff with it, like more tentacle-like legs rather than the snake legs. Unless I'm thinking of a different model, but it had like that metal snake things. So basically, you know, kind of basically this tail thing, but a bit chunkier. Yeah, I don't know. But if I did get them, I'd probably replace that. Probably use it as a part of the model, but give it more tentacles, more metallic tentacles. I think that would be pretty cool. And if we put this on, it should just go in just like that. Right into his cyber butt. Alright, that should be pretty straightforward. Come on, little glues, out you come. I don't think there's anything else that... No more connection points. You know what? We've been going for like 45 minutes and we're almost getting done here. It's definitely not taking as long as I thought. Did that stick in? There we go. Just making sure a little bit. There we go. That's better. Done. There we go. There's his butt. it's so dumb, but it's a butt. There you go. And he has holes in his butt. See, I really love that digitized effect all over his body. That's really cool. I'm very excited for the what's it called? The the one with the digital skull, like the giant digital skull that he's casting. What's that called again? Psychomancer. I saw that. I'm like, I want that. And they haven't talked about it again since they showed it almost like a month or two ago. I want that model. That's the one I want. Let me have that model. I think that's really, really cool. Alright. So, we've got there. Now we've got the arm spear. I love the spear as well. There's just so many cool design elements on this. And it feels like they've given... yeah, no butt shots. Like, well, it's not really anything. It's like you're showing an animal butt. That should be fine. No, that should not be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, I'm not even monetized yet, so it doesn't even matter. I'm getting close to monetized. Not really. I'm still like 400 subs away. So yeah, I am excited for the Psychomancer. I'm pretty sure it's called the Psychomancer. It's just crazy. That's what I was saying before. It feels like the design team have sort of been freed up recently. And it's really for like the last 2 years that they've been like, okay, we can do all this stuff now because we have the technical skills and the technical ability. And it comes down to 3D design, creating digital models, and then being able to 3D print them in an afternoon. It's like, we've got this design, okay, we'll put something together, 3D print it out as a test model, and then be like, nah, that doesn't work. When you couldn't do that before. You just didn't have that ability. And I think because that, it's sort of supercharges the design aspect of what they can do. Because you can print out test models and be like, oh, look at it and be like, that's super dumb. What if we do this? Go away, fix the design, and print out anything else. Yeah, definitely Age of Sigmar, they've been able to just go all out on it because the technology now allows them to do it. And it also means that anyone who has a computer and a bit of technical creative skill can start doing 3D design and designing 3D models and spend a couple of $100 and buy a 3D printer and print out their stuff. And that's why you see so many Kickstarters with 3D printed models from like not just miniatures but terrain as well, simply because the technology is there, the skill set is there, and the avenue is there. And I think that we're seeing this more and more, that big companies are able to get these designers as well. So It is pretty exciting. I think it's a very exciting time, and has been for the last couple of years, because everyone can now get involved. And then you have the whole people going, oh, it's going to kill like Games Workshop and Privateer Press and whoever else. No, it won't. I think it will enhance it. I think it'll make it better. Okie doke. Let's stick this bad boy's arm on. Actually, I need to clean this up. So I'm excited for the Psychomancer. And I think the Chronomancer as well, with all the cubes that he has stored around his head. So he has something similar to this, but he has like cubes stored in there, and he can pull out the cubes to do different kind of time magic. I think there's some really cool stuff. It feels somewhat fantasy-like, but I don't mind. I love my techno fantasy or sci fantasy. I think there needs to be more of it, because you don't want to push it too far in 40k. You still want to keep it like grimdark, so you don't have too much magic. But you know, I think they've got a nice balance with the magic. This feels like the new Necron magic is more machine magic, and other magic is, you know, like the Warcraft magic. It's dangerous and scary. Yeah, heaps. I have horror stories from 3D printing as well. I've got like don't have a resin printer. I've got like just a plain plastic filament printer, and you know, I haven't used it for a long time. It's basically destroyed itself, but you know, it's cool. It was cool. Resin printers aren't too bad. The machines themselves is easy to deal with, but you got to deal with resin, and that's the issue. Yeah, it can be expensive. The price has definitely come down. A lot of printers now, you can get good printers for a couple $100s. You can't print a lot at once. Yeah, you're right, it is slow. But price-wise, it's definitely getting better. Even the resin is coming down in price. There's some more friendly resins. Not just eco-friendly resins, but just health-wise resins. I still don't trust it. That's why I don't have one, because I don't have a place for it. It would be in this room. And this is where I work pretty much 24/7. I don't leave this room much. Pretty much every day, 7:30, I start work. I'll come out for breaks and have some dinner and watch some TV with the wife, and then come back in and make some videos. So I don't want a resin printer in here. I'm just not going to deal with that. Alright, we've got his arm on. It's cool. But one day, I will have a resin printer. And it'll be good. So now we need to deal with his tail. And we are we've got a few more minutes. So I'm trying to keep these videos down to an hour at the moment. So we might be able to get... What we'll do, we'll build the base. And then in the next video, we might be able to come back with everything. Oh, I forgot, we've still got these amazing wings. Oh, so good. So many wings here. Oh. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll build the base. So we need 21, 22, 23, 24. Not too difficult to do, to be honest. It's all pretty much the same thing. One thing I do like, and I know not everyone agrees with this, and that's fine. We can all have different opinions. The bases. I love how the models are integrated into the bases. Not all the time, not gonna lie, but overall, I'm a big fan of base design and using that bases as a narrative element for the model. You see this a lot in Warhammer Underworlds as well, where all the bases are integrated into the models themselves. And they're kind of thematic exactly to them, which is very nice. So, I love the bases. You can fight me on it, that's fine. But yeah, I know there's very differing opinions. There is a fine line between having models that are completely customizable and you have multi-part kits opposed to models that are very designed specifically. So like this is very much designed. This would never be a proper multi-part kit that you could have in different poses and things like that. You just couldn't do it. And for these kind of things, I don't think you want to. And because once you know the model is going to be a very specific pose, and that's the only pose it is, you can get some cool base design in with hundreds of little scarabs on it all over the place. And I think they've really showed that off with Warhammer Underworlds, but very specifically with the Lumineth Wormlord range, where the bases are narratively and theme very, very important to the models. It makes sense. There's a reason why it's all mountains and wheat and ruins, because it ties in narratively and theme to that army. So I like it. I do want to see more, but I would like to see some more individual base sets. So release, come on Games Workshop, people will buy them. Just release bases that are Necron themed. Just do it. Just do it. People will buy them. And I think it's just, I don't know why they haven't done it, to be honest. Don't know why. Don't know. Right, so to be honest, it's pretty straightforward. You stick a bit on. I'm not even really going to test fit it, which is going to come back and haunt me later, but if we get one bit down, then the rest will go down fine. Just got to make sure that I actually put it in the right spot. So that has to be in the middle. So we'll make sure that that's in the middle there. Nice, and it doesn't really matter what angle it is. So that bit goes across there like that. It is kind of a little bit of a puzzle, but that's fine. So we got that there. This one goes there, and that one goes quite there. Actually, I stuffed that up. That needs to be right in the middle. There we go. That's better. Like that, that, and that. Nice. That's nice. Nice. Doesn't seem to want to go in properly exactly. So there's, that's why. There's some little pieces. I mean, honestly, they could have printed... If they could have put it on the sprue properly, they probably would have printed it as a single piece. There are some little bits and pieces I can see that could cause a problem. But overall... Is that right? Doesn't seem to want to go in properly. I'm just looking at the piece to see if that is actually correct. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh no! Where'd it go? Oh god! I kicked it even further away. Oh, we got this right. No, I had it wrong. That's why it wasn't working properly, because I had it in the wrong order. And that can go down there. That ties in nicely there. Sorry about the shadows. I'm still trying to figure out the freaking lighting in here. Oh, it's so frustrating. I just cannot get it correct. Alright, that goes in there and slides in nicely. So you just got shadow everywhere. I do have some nice LED panel lights that I'm using now, but it just seems to not work 100%. It's not up to the standards that I want. Okay, and the last little bit should slide in with no problem. And there we go. It's actually a really nice little base. Could be more on. Luckily, I can move it along a bit because it hasn't quite glued down. And I'll come back and fix it up later. So there we go, little base. Kind of cute. Definitely not on straight, but that's fine. And you can add some more gravel and sand and other skulls and bits around there. Probably even might add some dead Necron bodies or some dead Space Marines at some point. So there we go. All right, I'm going to leave it here for now. So I've been going for an hour. Like I said, I want to keep these going for just an hour at a time. Yeah, because I've got other videos I've got to make at some point. There we go. We're halfway there. We still have a lot more to go. As you can see from the box art, we have, if I can get it in shot, tons more. So we've only got this bad boy and the base. So we've got a lot to do. But that's all right. This bit here I think is going to be really fiddly, but that's fine. All right. Well, thanks for joining in and hanging out with me while I did it. I do want to do more regular streams, so we'll be building, painting eventually, definitely video games. Played some more Necromunda last night before, because I streamed the other night before, and now I have a proper setup where I can stream without any issue. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, I'll leave it there. If you do want to get this model and you don't have it, definitely jump over to Element Games. I'll put a link in the description of this video, or if you ask me, I'll leave a comment for it. I think you can get it like 15% off. If you're in the UK, I don't know where you guys are. I can't find like an affiliate in the US at the moment unless you go off Amazon, and I really couldn't be bothered setting that up. But if you buy it through Element Games through like a link or code that I give you, it gives a little bit of a kickback, like probably like $5. Not much, but it definitely helps out the channel. And all the money that I'm getting at the moment is just going to go straight back into models. So that's it. I am going to get out of here. So yeah, like I said, thank you for watching. Definitely more streams coming, and I will see you later. So yeah, thank you. If I can turn the stream off. All right, see you guys later.